Hello, Stacy here with Siouxland Magazine. Hope you are having a wonderful night. Boy, we've kind of got into chilly season. It's time to snuggle in, grab the blankets, spend some quality time with family, and of course, tune into these conversations. So excited to have you. So tonight I have joining me Sarah Johnson. Hello, Sarah.
Hello.
Hi. So Sarah is the executive director of Hope Street of Siouxland. Now, as I'm saying that, you might be on the other side going, what is Hope Street of Siouxland? Because it is something fairly new to our community. It's just been a little over a year. Was it June of 2019, Sarah?
So
That you
June
guys?
2019, we opened our doors and we were able to bring people in from the street. And we're really excited we're hitting about 16 months that we've been able to provide resources for the community.
Yeah, and so far you're already off to a great start, having a lot of success. So just to go a little deeper. So what Hope Street is it's a sober living home, right? So it's a place for those to come and get a little bit more stability in their life, as well as you guys help them to reintegrate back into the community. But can you maybe go into a little bit more detail on all of that?
Absolutely. So in 2018, we were part of a separate committee from the Siouxland Street Project, and really they have been working diligently to try to resolve some issues with the homeless population. And so we had some great people come together, and we came up with the idea that we were going to have a sober living home. And then through that process, we opened in June 2019. And we really focus on helping individuals suffering from homelessness, but also having some additional barriers with substance abuse and mental health issues. And so we're really able to bring them into a space where we can give them time to heal physically, mentally, spiritually, and everybody does it at a little bit different pace. And so we're really fortunate to be able to offer that support when people are ready to get sober and start working on being well and getting healthy.
Yeah. So let's take one step backwards. You mentioned Siouxland Street projects. So
Yes.
for those who might not know, can we talk about what that is? Because that's really a collaboration of a lot of organizations that are coming together, right, Sarah?
Absolutely. So Siouxland Street Project is kind of a subcommittee from Siouxland SHIP. It's Siouxland Human Investment Partnership, and they really help the community in many different ways. And one of their projects was Siouxland Street Project, and it really was about combating homelessness and partnering with the Sioux City Police Department, downtown businesses, other concerned citizens, and even some community partners who really wanted to, look at how we can address this. And we are fortunate. Our Siouxland tri-state community has a lot of resources, such as the Gospel Mission, and the Warming Shelter. And we kind of wanted to look at what's the next step up. What's the next thing that we can do? And the Siouxland Street Project really coordinated bringing all these different people together and looking at what issues can we resolve in a short amount of time, with a limited budget. And
Mhm.
so out of that, we had a lot of really great ideas, and it was like a detox center, partnering with the hospitals and doing those different things, but the money just isn't there for that. And so we wanted to look at the sober living home options, so that when people go to the hospital, or if they are on the street, or maybe if they're at the warming shelter or the Gospel Mission, if they want to take that next step and they want to make a lifestyle change, we can give them that support.
Mhm. Yeah. So I love this. So once again, we're seeing it demonstrated here in Siouxland, collaboration at its best, right? So there's a
Absolutely.
lot of resources. That's one thing I have heard a lot over the last year as I've really kind of plugged in to this whole topic of homelessness, is that there are a lot of resources, and Iowa does it really well, and Siouxland in particular. And then it's just coming together and working together and collaborating. And so that's being done, and it's being demonstrated through the Siouxland Street Project. And out of those conversations, that's where, we start recognizing some of the holes and some of the places, right, that we can make some more forward progress, and thus Hope Street of Siouxland. So like you said, you're a sober living home. Talk to us, what does that look like from their perspective versus from ours? What does this do for them? What's it provide for them?
So we really have a great opportunity. First of all, Hope Street is all privately funded from donations from the community, which is very important. That's a huge component, because with those private donations, we're able to provide individualized care for these people who want something different. And when they come in, it's really about, hey, we're gonna start from the basics, and we're going to let you know what our expectations are. And we let them come in. Sometimes people might be detoxing. They might be coming from the hospital, from the ICU unit. They might be coming straight off the street. And so there's a lot of different backgrounds. And when we bring them in, they're able to detox for a certain amount of time, and then we start working with them on an individualized basis. And so I have myself and a case manager, and I think what's really important about for when we help these individuals is that we create a family here. So we have 10 beds, and these 10 beds create a family style living, so that they're able to support each other. And we have that case management piece where we can look at what supports they need and help inserting them into their life at a slower pace than sometimes some of these other programs, which are paid through insurance and some different other resources. And so when we're able to slow down the process and really give them time to heal, to even get to the point where they can eat, they feel comfortable, they can even sleep in a bed. And those are all things that we have to overcome before we even start looking at sending to treatment or to mental health services. And so there's a lot of steps that really go into just getting a person comfortable living inside again, and maybe re-looking at how they can that they have an option for a different life.
Yeah, and I think there's something to even the fact that I love that you're talking about how you're giving them the time that they need, that time to acclimate, because when we push, sometimes there's so much resistance, right? And so by not pushing, by not rushing it, and just allowing that space, we're really seeing, I would think, more lasting change and progress.
And that's kind of where, for us, we have individuals who are ready after 3 days, and we can move them on to the next kind of phase of, we're going to take you grocery shopping and look at, getting you a state ID. If they want to attend treatment, getting connected with meetings in our community. And other people, it might take 2 to 3 weeks for them to just be able to get their schedule right, because they're typically up in the evening. And so to sort of turn their life around completely opposite, it takes some time to do that. And so we are fortunate enough that we have that flexibility to allow them to make those slow changes. And so they are more willing to accept those rules and regulations and start putting those boundaries to make them healthy and successful.
Yeah, and to give those of you listening out there maybe a little bit of insight, because this is something that I hadn't even considered. And the more information we have, the more insight we have, the more some of this stuff makes sense, right? And so I got the privilege to interview a good handful of people who have transitioned from homelessness this last January. And when you just spoke a moment ago, Sarah, about like part of it's just getting them on a normal schedule again, getting them to sleep at night versus the day. Someone out there, you guys out there listening might go, well, why would they not be on a normal schedule? Well, through that interview process, I learned that that's one of the most dangerous times when you're living on the street is at night. And so they want to stay up, they want to stay alert and awake at night so they can protect themselves. So just having those little insights creates this level of understanding. I think it's so important that, again, we're staying open, we're listening, we're trying to understand. And once we understand at a deeper level, we can be more supportive and helpful. And so that is important, what you guys are doing there, just trying to give that time to make adjustments.
Well, and I think there's a level of awareness too, where, there's a lot of things that I've learned along the way too. You can go to all of these classes and get all of this education, but learning from these individuals firsthand,
Mm-hmm.
some of their experiences, I think what's really important is to understand, meeting those basic needs of the shelter, the food, clean water, hygiene. Um, but there's all these other components that we're able to help with, creating that family living, letting them know that there are people who care, people who are
Mm-hmm.
going to invest in them and who want them to be successful. They probably didn't have a lot of that growing up. And the other part of that
Yeah.
is we have individuals from all different backgrounds. We have people who have a fifth grade education, and we have people who have bachelor's degrees, and they all came from the homeless community. And
Mm-hmm.
so, even if they have that higher education, there's still a lot of barriers where there's trauma, from their childhood or even their adulthood, and then kind of the disaster that came out of their alcohol or drug use, and that substance abuse use, has really dramatically impacted their life in a negative way. And so they really have to dig out of a hole. And so for us, we look at it as we have an opportunity to support that. And we can't make those changes in 30 days, 90 days, because they had 30, 40, 50 years
Yeah.
to get to that point. And so how do we make those changes in such a small amount of time? And that's what I love about Hope Street. They can stay here for as long as they need.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So can we talk a bit about those people who are there now? How long maybe some of them have been there, what they have seen as far as success? Can we talk about that?
Absolutely. Yeah, no, you know
Yes.
what? I'm really excited about that. So we have,
Yeah. So
we're all,
I always want to hear about the people. It's all
I
about people
know.
for me. So let's get to the people.
So it's really exciting. We have 10 individuals here. We're always full. We have a wait list. And so the 10 individuals that we have right now, they're doing amazing. So 8 of these guys have been here, I would say 5 months or longer. We have a few individuals who have been here close to the 9 to 12 months mark. And we do have a guy who's still here. He's doing amazing. He's been here since day one. And part of that is that he's successful in a lot of different ways, but he's just feeling like he needs that added support until he can transition onto that independent living. And so what's really amazing is that we can allow them to stay here. We have a lot of other great things going on here too. We have 4 people who are working full time, 4 people who are working part time. We have 1 individual who's going to school, and so I'm really excited about that.
Nice.
And then we have a couple of people who they're a little bit newer, and I would say within 45 days. And so we're just getting started in the treatment process and those kinds of basic first steps to get them leading to that successful path. So, we have some really exciting things going on with these guys, and they're excited and happy to be here, which I think is a testament to how we
Mhm.
can do something a little bit different and have some really great outcomes.
Absolutely. And so I would guess, so I know you've got 10 beds now, but I would guess that if you could have, like you said, you've got a waiting list, if you could have more, more space, more resources, we could help more people. But
Absolutely.
yep, that's going to come down to, because you guys are all funded by private donations, grants. How are you funded? How does this all work?
So we're privately funded, and that's really based out of we don't have restrictions on what we can help individuals with, and there's not sometimes when you have some oversight from different entities, they might put you can only help someone fill out an application one time. Well, we know
Mm,
that that's not always something that can be done one time, and it might have to be a little repetitive for them to be
mm,
successful and do it individually on their own. When we look at people being able to donate, there's a lot of different ways for them to donate, but what we would really like is for people to continue to support Hope Street and hopefully for us to grow so that we can have another home and create
mhm.
another family unit who can be successful. And that's really the key is we're creating family and surrounding these individuals with care. And so it doesn't turn into a facility. It doesn't turn into a
Yeah.
treatment center. And so we want to create that long-term support and build relationships with each other and be able to connect and hold each of us accountable.
Hmm. Yep. Which is the biggest indicator of success, right? They say community or a lifespan. They
Mhm.
say community. Everything
Absolutely.
always comes back to community and people, right? So you guys are doing fantastic work. I'm so excited that you're part of this community. How can people plug in and support you? How can they help?
So what would be wonderful, we have a new website and it is hopestreetofsiouxland.com. And on the website, you can see what our building looks like, what it looks like inside, kind of an overview of what our expectations are, who qualifies to apply here. And then there's some opportunities that if people want to serve on the board, they can apply. If they want to be a volunteer, we have different community committees that
Mhm.
people can participate in, which are always fun. And then we also have a way for them to donate. And under the donate button, there's kind of an outline of what products or items that we are always looking for and in need of and what we use our money to purchase. But you can also do a monthly gift, a recurring gift, a one-time gift, and you can do via PayPal or you can use your credit card. And if people aren't comfortable doing that over the internet, they can always send a check or money order here
Mhm.
to Hope Street, um, and we'll be able to deposit those funds.
Yeah. Okay. Well, thank you for that. Is there anything else, Sarah, that you want to share with our listeners here, those viewing, before we wrap up tonight?
Actually, I would just really like to invite the community. Our doors are open for anybody to come and tour our homes and to really look at what we're doing and seeing how we're helping people. I think sometimes experiencing what is going on, it's a little bit different. And and I would love, and any one of the guys here love giving tours, so it doesn't, I don't have to be here. And so,
Nice.
but we would love for the community to feel comfortable and come and visit us. We're at 406 12th Street in Sioux City, and we would love for you to come and visit and see what we have going on and really look at how these guys are reintegrating into the community, and they're excited to be here.
Hmm. Yeah, I would encourage that as well. Thank you. Thanks, Sarah, for your time tonight and talking with everyone, sharing a little bit more about Hope Street. And this is, I think, a perfect time too to mention. So Sarah is actually going to be one of our guest speakers at an event that we have coming up on Thursday, October 29th over the noon hour. So Siouxland Magazine is hosting a Understanding Homelessness event. It was something we were going to try to do live at the Public Museum last March. And then unfortunately with COVID, that was not able to happen. But on October 29th, we are making it finally happen. It's just going to play out a little bit differently. So it's very grateful. I'm very grateful to KWIT. They are collaborating with me to help bring this to all of you. So you can certainly tune in to KWIT to listen over the noon hour on that Thursday, or you can actually watch it because we will be streaming live on Siouxland Magazine's Facebook page, the event as well. And so what you will experience if you can tune in that afternoon is we're going to share some of those interviews that I had done and actually Mary from KWIT helped as well. We did on it was back on like back in January, February, we interviewed some homeless individuals. I really wanted to be able to let all of you hear their stories straight from them. I think that is so important, to recognize the fact that every single person is uniquely different. Their stories are different, how they happen to go from, having a home to not having a home. What moment in their life, what happened that made that shift. So I want you to hear from them. So you'll get to listen to those interviews. And then as well, the next thing we have, the second thing is going to be hearing from our experts like Sarah. Sarah will be one of those. Our police chief, Rex Mueller, will be one of those. Joe Twidwell with the warming shelter, he will also be sharing. And so you'll get to hear from experts, again, just getting some more understanding about where we currently are in the Siouxland area, what we're doing, where we hope to go. And then from there, the big part, which is why I really, really hope you tune in, is we want to hear from all of you. So you will be able to either post your questions on Facebook, or you'll be able to call in during that last third of the hour to KWIT and ask questions and get those experts to speak to that, and we'll just get this dynamic conversation rolling. We will only be live on KWIT for about an hour, but I want to make sure we're getting all of your questions answered. So we will continue this conversation on Siouxland Magazine's Facebook page even after that hour is over. So please consider putting that in your calendar and joining us. Again, it's October 29th. It's a Thursday at noon, and we'll be hearing even more from Sarah. So
thank you for so much for having me on, Stacy.
Yeah, appreciate having you so much. Appreciate all of you for tuning in and listening. And one last thing before we wrap up, just always want to remind you, if you know of someone who is a small business owner or is with a nonprofit, if you want to come on here and do one of these spotlights with me, I would love to have you. All you have to do is go to siouxlandmagazine.com. Contact information's on the bottom of the page. Just reach out and I will get you scheduled. Until next time, all of you take care and remember to find moments of joy. Thanks. Thanks again, Sarah.